We live in a land paid for by blood, a country that was built up from sticks and mud. Our ancestors crossed 1,000 miles over the ocean, leaving behind a past that was negative emotion. When they first sighted land, they all jumped overboard and swam. They couldn't believe they were living in freedom. The government they once had didn't need them. It was tough during the first days, figuring this strange land. Many grouped together and started a plan. They knew they needed something to keep them in line. This is when they wrote the Constitution, man, it was divine. Bunch of men agreeing never lost their mind. They gave us all our freedom, one amendment at a time. And when they finished writing, 39 men had to sign. We have freedom, you can't take away. The Constitution guarantees that. So take your false authority and go the fuck away. The next 200 years came with a price. A bunch of men and women gave the ultimate sacrifice. They did it for the people alive today. You don't hear very many taking 3 times to say thank you, whoever you are, who gave your life, and for their families left on earth alone for their life. Thank you for your gift, the life that you gave. It lets us live as free men. Oh, glory we will wave. Now we are here in 2025, a year led by selfishness. There's no surprise, the government is taking over. It's a friggin' mess. Our kids are being taken by people who must be deceased. Who the hell gave them that power? These actions need to cease. So listen up, you voted officials, we are here to say you need to pay attention to issues, because we aren't going away. We come bearing the Constitution, well recited if we may. We the people is how it begins. The words that follow, you can fill them in, because they are true as they were meant to be. You're taking our freedoms one at a time. No one's paying attention except for us reciting these lines. You don't get to take away the rights we were given. Taking away our children should get you in prison. I'm not messing around, it's no laughing matter. Give our children freedom, or feel your teeth shatter. We are the ones who make the decisions. You lost track of your job, we're here to petition. This is your final chance. America doesn't need to fight a civil war. We just need you politicians to hit the door. So do the right thing and leave this city of Washington, or turn things around, give us something to fall again. Give us back our children, not one at a time. We all want them back home on 49. Crusade with a fervent heart. Vinny holds the crew right from the start. Herbert talks cops, dirty wheels that turn. Danielle has sympathy, a fire with a burn. Oh! together in the dark of night, bringing truth to light, clearing up the sight, hunting justice with courage so bold. Stories of pain and love untold. Vinny keeps it steady, cracking every code. Herbert's got the secret roads he's always rode. Daniel's hard-heavy kids need her care. Punishes vengeance on the edge of despair. Together we stand, never backing down, exposing the lies, pulling back the crown. Open our voices, power in our cries, justice will prevail, rising to the skies. We fight together in the dark of night, bringing truth to light, clearing up the sight, hunting justice with courage so bold. Stories of pain and love untold. Fighting the love untold.
In the United States, CPS makes upwards of $3 billion per day on trafficking and selling our children. The corruption may start with the caseworker, but goes through the judicial system, passing the governor through the Senate and into the White House. The entire system has a hand in the business known as CPS.
Our children are stolen every minute of a 24-hour day. They are being robbed of their innocence, their trust, their happiness. As parents, we are isolated and betrayed by a government we trust. States are balancing budgets on kids' lives. Only 12% of the kids taken will be reunified. Title IV funding is being riveted with fraud.
We need to stop CPS and abolish CPUFist.com is leading the way. Join us.
All right, everybody. This is CPS Punisher. It is, in fact, indeed, Friday night here at CPS Victims Hunting Justice. I am your host, like I said, the CPS Punisher. We've got the chats right over here to our right. That right. We've got a lot of information to go over. We've got Benny. We've got Herbert in the house right now. We bring them out here. Guys, I want to thank you all. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. We are climbing up the roof here, guys, and we are getting noticed. So make sure that you guys like, subscribe, leave comments, get your friends in here. Let's do this, man. We are getting our words out there. So, and that's because of all of you watching the show and paying attention to what we're doing and listening to what we're saying. So we thank you all. I hope that you guys got a chance to watch Bringing Back Brenda this morning. That was a really great show for her first show. She told her story this morning. So I highly suggest if that's going to be something that you guys are going to pick up on, I suggest that you guys check out the first episode because let me tell you something. She has a lot to say. A lot to say. So, sometimes she gets a little, she gets going, but all I'm asking is just listen to her, and her story is quite amazing. So, what's going on, fellas? How we doing?
Doing all right.
Fine, Vinny. I mean, how you doing, Darren?
I'm all right. I'm doing good. I'm a little tired, but I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. What do we got? We got any news out there?
It was a quiet day on the home front.
Oh, quiet day for Mr. Vinny. What about you, Mr. Herb?
It's the same thing, quiet.
What do you think? You think were you winding down from the New Year's and the Christmas rush and all that stuff? You think that tired you out a little bit?
Sure, just
Yeah.
winding down from the holiday.
Yeah. Yeah, because you actually celebrate the holiday, right, Herbert? You have family that
Yeah,
come up and
I celebrate Christmas and I celebrate New Year's.
yeah. What did you get good? Did you get anything good for Christmas?
Um,
Like
nothing
a
really
soccer?
special.
No.
Nothing really special. No, I'm
I mean, we're
fighting
always
something else out here. What I'm fighting out here has nothing to do with CPS. It has to do with fireworks.
oh yeah, the
Yeah.
firework can.
Oh no, 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 no! I don't have a problem with ash cans and cherry bombs and what else is there, Vinny? What else did they shoot in New York? Cherry bombs, ash cans, M80s, things like that. I don't have problems with the big booms. I have problems with the aerial stuff that people use in a residential neighborhood where the ambers could come down and start fires.
Oh yeah, especially if it's dry out there.
Bottle rockets.
Exactly.
Mhm. Wow.
Things that go up really high
Yeah.
and all the lights, all the flames
Those are
come down
usually
on top of dry trees. It can start
bottle
fires.
rockets, big bangs, um, and launchers.
Hmm.
The launches, Vinny,
Yeah.
the launches, the rockets, the things on the ground. The things on the ground is not a big deal. It's just a big
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom.
All you do,
But when you have something
you
going up in the
realize that
sky,
them things that they put them in are just tubes. Okay.
Yep.
You have to take that ball, light it, and put it in there without having it explode in your face.
Yeah, well, that's when you get a big torch, man.
Like you got to be quick when you do it because if you don't, you're going to seriously get hurt.
Yeah, you're the fastest for that, Benny. No doubt. You'd be the one I'd volunteer for the torch.
I did it last year
well,
when we did fireworks.
well, I know people.
Yeah.
Well, I know people do it with a cigarette. What people do is they
No,
light a cigarette, and as the cigarette's burning down, it burns down to the fuse. Then the fuse get lit.
That's
They're
in Tom.
far away from it.
That's in Tom and Jerry cartoons, man.
right. All you got to do is take and put the
Roadrunner
ball
Coyote.
in so that the wick is facing up. Light the top of the wick and walk back at least a good 100 to 150 feet from it, and it will go up on its own.
Wow.
But what do you do with the ambers that come down that go
Well,
in bushes?
we have a circle up here, so they launch right in the middle of the circle.
No, but here they launch it in the
Yeah,
middle of the
no,
neighborhood.
yeah, no.
But far worse than that, they shoot firearms in the sky. That's where Shannon law came from. The little girl Shannon was killed in Arizona.
Well, them bullets do come. Them bullets
Bullet
do
went
come back down here. Bert.
The bullet.
Yeah, what goes up?
Yeah, you don't have to tell me. I know that. But the people doing it, they don't care. And they can do it a mile away and kill somebody a
Oh,
mile
yeah,
and a
because
half
it comes
away.
down
Yeah,
with
but here's
more
the question.
force when it's going up. It's got resistance. When it's coming down, it has no resistance.
Here's the question.
Yeah.
If you shoot your gun up in the air for these holidays like that, is that a reason for CPS to come and take your kid?
If you shoot your gun up in the air, is that a reason for CPS to come and take your kid? No, because it has nothing to do with your kid.
Well, what if they're outside playing?
It has
What
to
if
do
they're
with you.
outside playing?
Hi, Debbie.
No, but I'm saying it has to do with you as the person that violated the law by discharging a firearm
You're breaking up.
illegally.
It could be me, but I think it's you. Um, okay, all right. We can kind of go with that a little bit, I guess. But you were
Well,
just
no,
sitting
think
there
about
saying,
it.
but what I'm thinking about is all these little kids outside playing, and if these bullets got to go up, they got to come down, right?
Yes,
So,
and then where does CPS come to come after you?
mhm.
CPS is not coming after you. Law enforcement's coming after you.
But it says that if there's damage to be done, if a child's in imminent danger, then they're to be removed. Is that an imminent danger situation? Having your child run out there and play around with fireworks, and put them all together across the.
Well. First you talked about the gun. Now you're talking about fireworks. That's different.
No, I meant the gun, but and then fireworks also. But for real, like, is
Okay.
that
Now, if you're saying you're out there playing with your children and they're playing with fireworks, that could be looked upon as putting your child in danger because they're playing around with fireworks.
Hey, Lauren.
right? What do you so? And if they fire the gun up in the air,
The two
and the
go
kid
hand
starts,
in hand.
I hope nobody would ever
You
do
mean
that.
if your child fires a gun in the air,
Mhm. Yep.
you're
Child fire.
responsible. You're going to be responsible for the child illegally discharging a firearm.
Okay.
Now, if you're on a gun range and you were teaching your child how to shoot the little 22 caliber rifle or something like that, no, you're not in trouble. You're on a bona fide gun range shooting at a target. I see gun ranges. Parents are there all the time with their children shooting guns.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's an important skill that you should be teaching your kids how to operate a weapon, I believe.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have your child shooting a bullet up in the sky.
Right, or whatever.
That's
But
that's against the law.
all kids that their families have a gun inside of their homestead, they should all have training. These kids should have training on how to handle a gun. Like a hunter safety course, I guess.
Yes,
Which they're supposed to
but I
have
don't
at the
see
age
where
of 12.
CPS. I don't see where CPS would be involved in a situation like that.
I don't have that answer. I'm just wondering. It's a hypothetical question.
And I'm giving you a hypothetical answer. I don't see a reason where CPS would be involved. Unless, check this out, you're not home, the adult's not home, and the child has access to the gun.
Or the fireworks.
Or the fireworks.
Those are age-based
Yeah,
too, right?
that's right, or the fireworks. But if you're home and you're around the fireworks and you're around the gun, I don't see where CPS should even get involved with that.
What do you guys think?
Because there's an adult around the child.
And actually, I'll put it in the poll on the community. We'll run. I'll put it in. We have a community here on our YouTube page, and I also want to welcome Rumble. We're on Rumble now, guys. So we're getting some views from that. But I'll put it up in the poll, and I want you guys to tell us how you feel about this topic. Let us know what you think.
But be sick and put your question down.
Well, you tell them, not me. Vinny, what's your thoughts on this?
My thoughts on that is, if there's going to be guns in your house, when you got younger kids around, they should be locked up until those kids are the age of 12 and know how to use them properly.
Okay.
Wait, Vinny, how did you come up with the number 12 versus the number 8 or the number 13?
Because when I went and had my hunter safety course back when I was 12 years old, that's when I could get it.
Okay, so that's what you're basing it on. Now, do you know whether that age is still the same or has it
I
changed?
don't. I don't. I
Okay,
haven't had my
okay,
hunter safety course since I was 12. So,
okay. So we don't know if that number is accurate.
right.
Correct.
Okay,
We
so we
can
can't use the age 12.
Yeah, it's
um
all hands-eye coordination. That's right, Lord.
hmm.
I'm just saying we can't use the age 12. We have to find out what age can a child legally handle a firearm. Is there a way you could Google that, Darren?
I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
know,
already.
but I know that they're starting to make it so that they can get it when they're younger in some states.
Hmm.
So, I mean, that's a good possibility that, obviously I don't think Maine's going to go that low because, well, they don't want a bunch of kids running around with guns. We got enough problems with guns around up here.
Well, I think you just gave the answer, Vinny. Every state is different. That's the
Yeah.
answer. So we have to look at it. For example, in Georgia, maybe a child of 8 years old is allowed to go out and shoot birds with a 22 caliber rifle.
Yeah, but you can hurt someone with one of them too. So, I mean,
No, but I notice I said specifically 22 caliber rifle out on your property on your land shooting birds, and
you
that might
think
be
it's going
legal
to,
in Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Georgia. And it might be
I don't
very
think,
legal in Texas too.
I don't,
But I'll tell you what, it's not going to be legal. It's not going to be legal in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania.
well, no. No, and that's because those are major cities.
Well, you use the word major city, but Dallas is a major city in Texas.
Yeah,
Atlanta is a major city
and
in Georgia.
Albany, and Albany and Buffalo are major cities in New York.
Exactly, but they're upstate New York. So they're up
Yep.
in the state versus the city of New York versus the five boroughs. I'm not talking about Manhattan. I'm talking about Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Staten Island,
Hey,
Suffolk
you forgot
County, Nassau
Harlem.
County. Huh?
You forgot Harlem.
Where is Harlem, Vinny?
It's right in the center of all of them.
No, Harlem is in Manhattan.
Yeah, right in the center of all of
So
them.
I mentioned Manhattan. I said Manhattan. Manhattan is the whole island by itself. Then you got the
Well,
Bronx. That's the only place that's attached to the mainland. And Brooklyn and Queens is on Long Island. Brooklyn and Queens is part of Long Island, and Staten Island's by itself.
I see some clips today. There's a couple of guys from Long Island and one from Harlem that were talking about the them taking out of our bonds and stuff. Well, they were showing the forms and the process and whatnot, and I'm just sitting there watching and I'm going, huh. And like he had a book. It wasn't like fake crap. It was the actual book that teaches you how to not have to deal with government taking your money or intruding on your life.
Wow.
And where
No,
was
that.
this on YouTube? Was this on
No,
YouTube?
no.
Where did you see this at, Vinny?
I'm not at liberty to say. Just check our group chat.
Oh,
And then you'll
oh,
understand
okay.
where it came from.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. No more.
Mm-mm. I don't see them either. They used to be in the thing right upstairs, and they're not there anymore. So, do you see any of that lately with those the CPS groups down in what are you? You're like southwest, right? Southwest. Are you getting anything down there? No.
Brenda said that the age is 18 years old. I guess so,
Oh,
in order to handle a firearm,
16 in Maine and New Hampshire.
and it's 18 where Brenda's at. Like I said, every state is different. You go into West Virginia, up in the Appalachian Mountains, you probably got kids 5 years old shooting guns.
Yeah, probably. Every
Yeah, do
place is.
you realize that a lot of these off-gridders that don't even like, they barely come into town unless they really need something. These kind of people teach their kids how to hunt, how to fish, how to everything else from the time they come out of that womb and start walking.
That's 100% correct.
Mm.
And they don't come after these people. You know why? Because they're off-gridders.
Mm.
Yep. Do you know there's parts of Alabama where the law enforcement department encourages the homeowners to carry a gun because there's no way they can get there within an hour?
Do you realize how long it takes cops to get here? Like over 30, 35 minutes at most.
I believe it. So Maine, you're in Maine. So Maine is another place where I would think they would encourage homeowners to carry a firearm.
They do. Oh yeah, they do. Yep.
There's places in Georgia where it's almost against the law not to have a firearm.
Yeah, that's gun safety, and there's no age limit. That's right. Yep.
I know there's 2 counties in Georgia. I think one is called Harris County or Clark County, where the law enforcement there, they almost make it a law that you have to have a firearm if you are of age and legal to carry.
Really?
Yeah. I can look it up on a computer. Matter of fact, you can get it faster than me, Darren. Georgia. Just say what county in Georgia are the residents required to carry firearms? What counties in Georgia are residents required to carry firearms?
Alexa.
If you could look that up, I appreciate it.
Yeah, hold on a second. Looking at some other information right now. Hold on. All right.
Just ask Alaska.
Alexa?
Yeah.
What was the question? So repeat the question.
What counties in Georgia are residents required to carry a firearm?
All right. Hey, Alexa, what county in Georgia are residents required to carry a firearm?
What counties in Georgia are residents required to carry a firearm?
She does not have an answer for us for that one. Alexa,
I
what
can get
counties?
I can find it.
Alexa, what counties in Georgia are required or are residents required to carry a firearm? I don't know. I'm not coming up with any answers.
It's not giving you an answer? Holy shit.
What counties in Georgia are residents required to carry a firearm? Maybe one of your listeners can look that up on their Google, or else I could go off, find it, and come back on again. Because when I heard that, my immediate response was, so if I don't have a firearm, I can be arrested? That's the first thing that came to my mind.
You no longer need a permit to carry a handgun in Georgia. Yeah, no. A gun in every home in Nelson, Georgia residence. Okay, maybe Nelson, Georgia, maybe. Hold on.
Harrison, Georgia, or Nelson, Georgia, something like that. They got going on in Alabama. There's certain counties in Alabama that the residents are required to carry firearms. But I know
Provide for
Georgia.
the emergency management.
I know
City
Georgia for
council members
sure.
in Nelson, Georgia, voted unanimously to require heads of households to own guns and ammunition. The so-called Family Protection Ordinance requires a gun in every home in order to, quote, provide for the emergency management of the city and protect the safety, security, and general welfare of the city and its inhabitants. People with certain disabilities are exempted from the requirement, as are, quote, those heads of households who are paupers or who conscientiously oppose maintaining firearms as a result of beliefs or religious doctrine or persons convicted of a felony, unquote. Officials admit they likely won't enforce the ordinance, which is modeled on a similar provision passed in nearby Kennesaw, Georgia in 1982. Similar proposals in other states have recently been softened or rejected. The gun requirement has
So there you go, right there. That's one of them.
What county was that?
You were talking.
Or city?
Did you guys see the other news report where
require heads of households to own guns and ammunition? The so-called Family Protection Ordinance requires a gun in every home in order to, quote, provide for the emergency management of the city and protect the safety, security, and general welfare of the city and its inhabitants. People with certain disabilities.
what you do, Darren? There we go. So there was another video like that where a whole town shut down their government office in their town, their everything, even them for taking care of the roads, and the whole town voted that the town was going to take care of it for themselves, the residents.
What
was the name of this city or the town?
I can't remember. It was on a news post I was watching.
All right.
But yeah, the town voted out the government out of their town.
All right, but let's go back to the question. So these towns are required to have guns in their homes. So these kids need to be taught proper gun laws and rules, right? And if they don't get those situations handled, should CPS get involved in their situations?
You mean if they don't teach their kids how to operate a gun, will CPS get involved? Is that what you're saying, Darren?
Correct.
Oh, that's an oxymoron right there. I would think CPS wouldn't even want to go to that town. I don't think CPS wants to go there. Everybody's toting guns. Everybody's legally toting guns. I don't think there's a CPS problem in that town.
Well, we would hope, right?
What was the name of the city or the town? I didn't hear it.
Nelson, Georgia.
Nelson. There you go. That's what it was. That was Nelson, Georgia. Yep.
So, there you go.
I guess we all know where we got to move then, huh?
Yeah, I guess we all go to Nelson, Georgia.
No, that's just one. There's like 2 or 3 cities in Georgia, and there's also some in Alabama. Same thing, same rule.
I wonder how close that is to what Danielle is. Why?
Because when I did research on it, my question was, well, what if I don't want to have a gun? Am I going to get arrested? I remember saying that. And then they talked about, well, for religious reasons, if you don't want to, or mental reasons, you can't have it. And that's the answer I got.
Oh, we got a Danielle. Look at that. Better late than never, Danielle.
There she is. Danielle, Nelson, Georgia. Where is it?
Hey, I'm coming.
Yeah, Danielle, she'll know where Nelson, Georgia is. That's a good person to ask.
Yeah, I'm trying to come on. Nelson. Why ain't it coming on?
We can hear you.
You dork.
Oh, can you? Can you really?
We can really hear you, for real.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
we can hear
Nelson,
you.
Georgia. It's up in
No,
North
we can't.
Georgia, like near. Hold on.
You live in
should've
you
used
live
my-
in North Georgia. Is it
Yeah,
north
it's not
of
very
you?
far. It's not very.
You're cutting in and out, Danielle.
You're breaking up, Danielle.
I think she said it's not very far from her.
Right.
Yeah, she said it's North Georgia, and I know she lives North Georgia because I know she lives north of the 285.
Sure, we know a lot.
All right, everyone. That means we got to pack up and move to Georgia.
Everyone else? Okay, buddy.
Well, Arizona, everybody carries a gun here. I mean, it's not. I mean, you could count the states. There's a lot of states that people readily have guns. I mean, there's no permits required or anything.
Well, you also got to take in mind that Georgia is filled with a lot of the old timers and rednecks and hillbillies and hippies. So these kind of people, they're gonna have guns, absolutely.
Well, Arizona, I don't know if they have a lot of rednecks or hippies, but everybody carries a gun in Arizona. And you don't need a permit. No permit required.
Well, hey, all right. I want to play a video for you guys. Check this thing out here. Since we're talking about all of this stuff, this is a video here. CPS calls the sheriff's office.
Your own company.
Are we allowed to know who called the report in?
Reporting information is
confidential. Okay.
No, it's not. Sixth Amendment allows us to sit in front of our accuser. If anybody brings an accusation against you, I want to know who it is, and I will get that record. You came on my property, you didn't even want to announce who you were.
I told you I was the children's.
That doesn't say anything. You can just say whatever you want. You didn't show me a badge, you didn't show me anything. They're just upset because I won't let them. I didn't want them originally. Talking to my kid.
You have an ID with you?
Oh no, I don't get my ID unless
Okay, I'm not going to play this game with you. I've done it before a couple years ago. I'm not going to do it again.
Hold on.
I have a reason to identify you.
What for?
Property damage. When you take a vehicle, it's considered property damage.
Okay, is there evidence of that?
I have 2 witnesses, so yes.
No, is there evidence? It's hearsay right now.
Okay, dude, I'm not going to play this game with you. Identify yourself. I'm going to put you in cuffs. I'm going to take your fingerprint and identify you.
What's good, YouTube? It's BBcast back in with another video and another reaction. And in today's video is from Donovan, Missouri, where you had this guy that was dealing with these CPS workers that came to his house, and he was, telling like, bro, get off my property. They wanted to talk to his kid, and you had the CPS worker end up calling the sheriffs. The sheriffs didn't make it any better either. And then on top of that, they made him sign this piece of paper to say that you can't be at your house for 10 days while I guess they do their investigation. His wife ended up signing the paper. He couldn't be at the house either way, and if he does come back, they was gonna take his kids. And I don't know how it goes with those CPS workers, because sometimes them kids, I don't know where to be seen, and that's a lot of cases you do see end up happening with these CPS workers. I'm gonna watch it, get my reaction. Let me know what y'all think about the comment section, and let's get into the video.
These guys came to my house. These guys rolled up in my yard. This is County Road. These guys came to my house. Hi. What's up? Out in public. First Amendment right. Yep. Get to stepping. Yeah. These two dips. Look at these dumbasses. Look at that.
Can I find out what's going on?
Okay, what they don't want to do is because I'm holding them accountable. It's okay.
Okay.
Oh, no, you can be recorded. You're public servants. And we're out in the public. It's First Amendment right. And my wife will find out. You want my wife to record? Are you scared?
Okay.
You worried? Why don't you record the whole thing? Because you need to find...
I need to find out what's going on, please. Just let me talk
Separated
to you,
his
please.
wife
Just
from
please
husband.
let me talk
You want to record?
No.
All right.
Just let me find out what's going
Yeah.
on.
There's an amendment right
Because
broken right there.
if we don't record, what if you say something different than what you see? Like from our... Okay, so I can record?
You're not being
Okay.
ridiculous about this whole...
Okay. So if I can record and I can talk about it, and then we can take care of it today?
Yeah, I'd like to interview with you if that's all right.
Okay.
No.
But I can record it for my own safety?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Okay.
He won't interview my kid.
Okay.
They're just building a case. That's all they're doing. And CPS is a private business, and they make money when they strip families apart, when they make divorces go through, because every court makes money, and you know this. I've been... Yep.
Okay.
That's why they're the highest human trafficking company.
Stop. Okay, please.
He knows
let
it.
me...
He knows I'm right.
Okay, so are you... Okay.
I need to do a walkthrough of the home to make sure that that allegation of unsanitary living conditions...
There you go.
Okay.
So I just need to...
And then you talk to Izzy?
Yes.
Okay.
No. I'm going to call the sheriff's department.
I already did. Don't worry.
Good.
Yep.
Okay. Just give me 5 seconds, please. To,
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so are we allowed to know who called the report in?
Reporting information is not
Confidential. Okay.
No, it's not. Sixth Amendment allows us to sit in front of our accuser. If anybody brings an accusation against you, I want to know who it is, and I will get that record. Huh? No, you're not, but you have the information of who it is, and we will get it. And then now you're a liar.
Okay.
And that's one thing too, like you got these people that you be making these calls in and nothing ever happens to them. Whenever they do their investigation and end up finding nothing, why do they never arrest the person or like do something to the person that made this false call?
I don't need you going to jail today.
I'm not going to jail. I'm recording.
They should do something to the people that make
It's
the
his
false
word
calls.
against ours, and if we don't record, it's just all hearsay. So I'm definitely covering our ass.
Do you feel like I'm trying to do something?
Yeah, you actually are. Well, you work for one of the largest human trafficking organizations, and 30,000 kids in the United States every year go undocumented and unmissing. They just disappear.
Where'd you get that information?
It's all over the internet. You can just find it. There's investigative reporters that do stuff on CPS, on stuff all the time. So it's not a joke.
You're treating it as...
I'm not treating it as a joke. I'm being serious. You came on my property. You didn't even want to announce who you were.
I told you I was the children's...
That doesn't say anything. You can just say whatever you want. You didn't show me a badge. You didn't show me anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Name and badge. Let's go. I went through this shit with Carissa. I'm not going through it with you. Couple allegations, is that what they said? Of some unsanitary...
Sexual assault
To who?
to Izzy
Huh?
by you.
When?
How do I know when?
What?
So if we don't get it dealt with, then you may potentially go to jail today.
Wow. We know who's allowed to do certain stuff in the house, and it's not me.
It. You don't need to tell me, but I have to figure out.
Who is saying this shit? You're right. I know. Everybody's cool.
And then unsanitary living conditions.
Oh, weird.
Do you think it was one enough?
No. She's been over to our house.
Emergency. I had no time to prepare, so I don't even have the report. But there's my business card.
Okay.
Okay, can you hold it up? Okay.
Okay, so as of right now, you want to do an interview with Izzy,
Yes.
do a walkthrough through the house,
Yes.
and then we'll do a discussion afterwards.
Yeah, and I'll get with my supervisor after this visit.
Okay.
To give it a rundown. And
You.
Okay.
Why are we letting some complete stranger interview our kid when none of this has been substantiated? It's all hypotheticals. It's all hearsay.
interview a child if it's insubstantiated.
Because she's a minor and you don't have the right to do that, so shut your mouth. It's unsubstantiated. It's it. It's just one person said something.
If you only have a few $100s to invest right now, click this link right here because I want to show you a clever new way to find low price stocks that could be on the verge of moving higher. It all starts with this little blue arrow right here. What you're looking at is a real-time buy signal for a stock called Presto Automation. Not only is this blue arrow telling us it is an optimal time to buy the stock, but also that it's likely to make a move higher. In this case, the stock rallied from about $2.50.
What's your thoughts so far?
On the video?
To
I think that
$5.
anonymous callers are a joke and they should be held liable for what they say, or accountable for what they say.
I think the guy should have identified. He should have identified himself.
Right.
Let's go on a limb here and let's just say that this is that town in Georgia.
Right. Nelson. Oh yeah, Nelson is a small town. Nelson is a small town, and it's actually right down the road from where my aunt and uncle that are helping me get my son. It's in the mountains. Really, it's probably about 20 minutes north of me.
So your aunt and your uncle, I'm sure they carry a firearm. Am I correct?
Plenty, yes. And then when you're in the mountains and the country around here, they got handguns, yes. And yeah, there's a city in Georgia named Kennesaw that it's required if you live within city limits, you have to have a firearm.
That's another city. So it's Nelson County and Kennesaw, but I think there's three of them. There's Nelson, Kennesaw, and there's another one that requires you to have firearms.
I think it's either Johns Creek or Brookhaven. It's a nicer one out. I think. So is that what the video is about? Is firearms, like having a?
Yeah, that's what we're looking at. Before we're discussing with those places that require you to have firearms, is there any concerns about CPS with the children being around the firearms?
Now, honestly, I have not heard, but I can look into that and I can actually look into that, because I don't ever hear about it, and I don't know how that would pertain. Like if if there was something in the clause, like the laws in that city, that with CPS, if CPS ever, because think about it, what about felons? What about if somebody's a felon and then the city limits, like myself? I can't have a firearm.
No. So it specifically says if you're a felon, you can't have it. If it's a religious reason, you can't have it. If you have a mental disability, you can't have it. They have certain reasons why you're not required. But if you are a sound-minded person, you're required to carry a firearm.
Right. And when it pertains to CPS, like your kid's safety and stuff, you're supposed to have it in a locked gun cabinet. I do know that, but and with CPS, I don't. What were you like asking, Darren? Like when you were pertaining to that?
Don't you think that their directive would be a little bit different if they were in that Nelson County? Did that guy just up on the property like that? I mean, would you think that CPS?
Yes, they would definitely be approaching it a lot differently. Yes, instead of just popping up. Around here, they would probably, if that guy did it around here in that Nelson or whatnot, it would not be good, because they're not afraid to, it's self-defense. I mean, they're protecting their property, they're protecting their families. So that's usually what happens in the country like areas, or the areas where, I mean, so a CPS worker would probably not be in good standing if they were to just pop up on someone's property in a place like that. Definitely. I mean, so the way he did it, I mean, I didn't get to watch it from the beginning, but I guess I'm taking it he just pops up and then just refuses to tell him who he is, or...
Well, just something to think on there when we're talking about this stuff. It just seems like the adult-child ratio there seems to be a little bit upsetting.
Mm-hmm. And it's at the beginning of that video, since I missed it, did the guy just pop up, the worker just, and then just refused to, just gave him a hard time? And he almost, he was protecting the property? Is that what you're...
Well, that's what I'm guessing. You guys,
identify himself.
what is Lady P talking about here? Hey, all you guys see this?
Lady P?
Lady P, what you talking about?
I have no idea. Yo, you guys see this? What? Pull it up if you can. What is it, Lady P? What would you like to, what are you talking about? Pull it up. What we're talking about? Because I mean, I know, well, you know, and that's another thing. Like, you know how you got the criminal side of the courts, and then you got the civil side, right? And you know, my understanding, I'm on probation. I'm a felon, right? So you know, when we were talking the other day about our rights and everything, how does that pertain to a felon that doesn't?
5 hours. That's a 100% gain, enough to turn $100.
Fourth Amendment right.
Well, I think that when you're a felon, don't you lose? You lose all your rights.
Well, you don't. You lose your Fourth Amendment definitely, because we do sign a waiver of our Fourth Amendment, and we, yeah. So there's automatic search and seize, and also we have a right to bear arms. We can't do that. So, I mean, so what does that pertain in a? So if we're under criminal, like we're under that probation. How does that pertain to CPS in a case that if it's brought against us? Like, not on the civil side though. Like, do we, and that's a gray area that I never hear anybody talk about.
Well, let me help you with that part about not carrying a firearm. That's state to state, because I did some research and found out you could be a felon, you get out, I think it's after so many months or a year or something like that, as long as it's not a violent felon, you can apply for a firearm, and if you haven't been in trouble, they'll give it to you.
Well, you have to be completed with all the terms of your probation or whatever, and you have to be out.
Yes.
And I mean,
and you can still but then there are states where no matter what, whether it's violent felon or not, you'll never get a gun.
Yeah.
So it's state to state. There's some states they don't care if you wrote a bad check. You could have wrote a bad check. You're not going to get a gun.
All right. What I'm saying here is the world, because CPS, there are articles that are being written that says that CPS is secretly writing up lists of people's names that are carrying weapons. They are carrying guns in their homes.
I've heard that. I have heard that, and they're targeting those people, those specific. And they fabricate cases on them. I have actually seen that happen. And as a matter, go ahead.
I'm just gonna tell Darren I'm popping into Restream on my phone. I'm gonna put the link in the back for the video that Lady P sent.
Okay. Oh, she said it's not coming up in the comments. Okay, what she's wanting us to see.
It will block it.
Well, what she was talking about wanting us to see, so okay, that's cool. Cool.
Oh, so it's a video that she sent to
Vinny and Darren. So
okay.
Now I have seen with what you were just saying, Darren, about their target, like they're jotting down people that have carry firearms that can be involved with CPS or get a case fabricated, have a case fabricated. I have actually heard of 2 people in the county that I am dealing with out here in Georgia that has happened with them, and that's why they're dealing with CPS. It's nothing else. It's just the fact that they had a firearm, and it wasn't when the day I guess they popped up, it wasn't like it was on the gentleman's side, and I thought that they had a license to carry. Like, that shouldn't, but no, it's a big ordeal, and it's actually, I don't know, I don't see how it's sticking in the courts. I don't understand. So I mean, and I do know that, and these people have never been in trouble or nothing.
Well, it sounds to me, Danielle, like it's more to that story. Because if you're in Georgia, one of the things is you can carry open in Georgia. I believe you have to have a permit to carry concealed, but
Yes,
you can
you do.
carry open. Yeah,
You have
but
to
you
have a
can carry open. Yeah,
Yes.
so if you're carrying open, you're legal. You're legal to carry open.
But they're trying to base it on just the whole firearm thing, and that how dangerous it is, and putting the child's, that he has it open because he does have this person does have a disabled child, which is older, like not as old as mine, but it's a teenager, and they're bringing up the fact that it can fight him and stuff. And
that man is out of the hospital recovering.
So then that applies to every police officer that comes home from work with their gun.
Hold on, guys. Listen.
A vicious, unprovoked attack recorded by the attacker, streaming live on Facebook.
Wow.
Police say he attempted to kill a state employee.
Wow.
Mesa police say this happened on Tuesday around 5 p.m. inside this building at Alma School Road in Southern, an Arizona Department of Child Safety office. The suspect, DeAndre Terrell Johnson, beginning his live stream as he sat down with a DCS employee to discuss his case involving his children.
With all this DCS, I want to introduce you so that we can have a proper introduction on this.
Growing agitated when the employee doesn't want to be in his live stream.
That's what's going on in the prison system.
Public position, man.
At the end of the hour-long meeting,
He's gonna attack.
Did he? Oh my goodness.
Johnson puts the employee in a chokehold, attempting to strangle him. 2 minutes go by.
You was a mother dead man.
The employee doesn't appear to be moving.
You was a dead man.
Then you hear witnesses in the background.
You was a dead man.
The whole attack lasting 2.5 minutes.
You still breathing. I make my point.
Records obtained by 12 News show multiple people called 911 and Johnson left. First responders finding the victim lying on the ground injured in an altered state of consciousness. As he was taken to the hospital, police began their search for Johnson, and when they found
I've seen that, Lady
fled,
P.
prompting a pursuit. Officers deploying a grappler, but that still didn't stop him. He was ultimately tracked down and arrested within 3 hours of the assault. This violent attack raising questions about security for DCS employees.
Just like working in the prison system, that's dangerous. Yes, ma'am.
Cut ties with a security company which provided guards to protect caseworkers during visits at a Phoenix field office, leaving some employees questioning the department's priorities. In response to Tuesday's assault, staff received an email reminding employees to use an emergency communication software they have access to in case of an emergency, and to consider meeting with parents in pairs. When 12 News asked if those measures would prevent a similar attack from happening again, a DCS spokesperson said, although there is no way of predicting or stopping an unprovoked attack, alert media can help in receiving immediate law enforcement response in escalated situations or when a staff member feels unsafe. This victim,
he could have had someone else around him,
at home recovering, later told police from the hospital that Johnson threatened his life a week prior, but he was able to calm him down. Doctors described his injuries to police as absolutely serious, saying the victim almost died. Johnson now faces an attempted first-degree murder charge, in addition to 2 counts of aggravated assault and unlawful flight from police. DCS says it's conducting a comprehensive review of this incident. Johnson is being held on a $500,000 cash bond. We're in Mesa. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
Sorry.
If they were in that Georgia town, if they were all carrying guns, that wouldn't have happened. Is that what we're getting at with that?
500,000.
No,
that's a
lot. You know, I always
I can respond to that because okay. That's less than 15 minutes from my house where that happened. And I remember the day it happened. Okay, and what happened was Child Protective Services they did cuts, so they cut the security out. They used to have security in the building, 2 security guards just walking around. They cut the security, so that gave that guy wide open chance to go after the worker with no problem.
was that at the DFCS office itself.
Yes.
Oh wow. So
Yeah,
there
which
was
is like
other workers.
it's not far from where I live. I remember the day it happened.
I mean, really,
So now
really,
they're upset because they did a budget cut, and they cut out security.
But really, at the end of the day, nobody's ever going to know what their
No
safety is
security
that
at
day.
all
You
during
never
the
know.
day. No, not at the end of the day. Not at the end of the day. All day, no security because they did
But
budget
what I'm
cut.
saying is, there's no security period because you never know what you're walking into when you walk up to these parents or these people. Like these caseworkers, like we don't know what we're walking into if we deal with the caseworker. We don't know if they're gonna. I mean, really, that's.
You know, that's
Well,
funny you say that because on the paperwork that I seen, they had me put down as violent.
Did they? Well, just think about
the
the
only time I'm gonna be
violence.
provoked is when you take my kids or you
Well,
challenge who I am as a person when you don't even fucking know me.
well, you got to pick and choose your battles with these people. You know, like you don't let them win. No, but pick and choose your battles because you don't want to be because they really. I mean, oh, well, you didn't do nothing and they could lock you up, and that's what you don't
That guy
want.
will
You know?
never see his kids. That guy will never see his kid again.
No, he
So
won't.
that was
See,
definitely
but
counter.
I would never succumb to violence like that. My
But
my
even
my way of violence is I'm gonna take you to court and I'm gonna take you down the proper way,
but
and then
even
I'm
when
gonna
you
make you
show
look like
acts of
the
it,
laughing stock.
that's why you leave your emotions out. We're supposed to leave our emotions. Like if they can sense anger on us, they're gonna use it to their best of their ability to make us to where we get TPR'd
I wish
or
you could have seen
something.
I wish you could seen all their faces in court the other day because I tell you what, when they looked at me and I just smiled, I'm just like.
Mine's like kangaroo court. I laughed the other day. They wanted me to testify against myself.
They
I don't
hate when you're
understand.
smiling because they don't
Swear to God.
understand what is actually going on, and when they do actually
They play
understand what's
stupid.
gonna happen,
Mhm.
they ain't gonna know what hit them.
No, they think they can. But they can play these games and just think they're going to get away with it. Like somebody's just going to slap them on their hand and tell them it's okay. Don't do better next time. No, like are they?
Speaking
And
of,
think about it. Just to that incident we just seen, they're putting themselves in positions like that when you got these caseworkers that are being manipulative and deceitful and like just creating problems, creating a hostile environment for us. You know, they could be. You don't know what that parent is. We're already going through enough as it is with dealing with CPS, but there could be things that, and what if one of them what if something triggers them and then boom, it's done.
But
You
does
put
that help? Does those things right there? Does that help or does that hurt the movement?
it would hurt the movement, I would think. Well, it depends if it's no, it would definitely hurt the movement because
that's not a bad thing, Lady P. It's not bad to be submissive to your husband.
You said
I say to the contrary. I say to the contrary. I say that it would help the movement
I
because
don't
it's
think so because
bringing
we're not trying to act
attention.
in violence. We're not trying to act in
No.
violence.
But the thing is, it's bringing attention to there's a problem. Look at the guy going on beating up. So it's going to help the movement because there's a problem.
But as long as it no violence, that's where you got to
No, I
pick
mean the
and choose your
violence.
battles.
In that case, the violence. It's unfortunate. It's not going to help that young man. It's not going to help him. But what he did helps the movement because it's bringing it to light.
Yeah.
True. But it can help.
People
It can go both ways.
Did you guys read Lady P's thing that It's they read the case study DCF filed with the court, and they say my husband is very controlling, and I am submissive to him.
Yeah,
That I'm gonna
they
tell you
said that
right
same
now. You know
in
how
case.
many women out there are submissive to their husbands? Many.
Well, they say the same thing, and they do that in all these cases. They did the same thing with my case, and I'm going to tell you something. I'm afraid of my wife. I,
Right.
my wife
Right.
is in control here. You know what I mean?
Look,
But so to say that that's just ridiculous. For them to
Yeah,
even
you
say
can
that.
they
reverse roles. One
But they
and you
do
minute
know
have to
they
one
that's
separate
where
minute
they
them.
throw
you
these
beat the
DV
victim.
cases and that's because some people play victim and when there's nothing like that. I mean, and they
Yep.
try to turn the parents against each other when
Yep.
everything's fine, and it's ridiculous. Like they tried to do that with me, and I'm like, where's the guy? Like who am I married to? Like
Right.
who? I'm by myself. Like hello, and they're trying to say me and my kid's father abandoned the kids over a decade ago. No, he was never around. Like
Yeah, they're
so.
trying to get me with that too, abandonment.
Yeah, and I'm like, they definitely can't. I said, try me.
They
I said,
can't. You want to know why?
We
I've got,
call
Because
that.
every time that they told me I would have a visit, or
mhm.
that I was going to get a Zoom visit, or that they couldn't get the visit to go through, I was screenshotting it.
Like if you look, it'll probably kick me out. But if I close my thing, it did. Never mind. Dang it. On my screen, you can see my son, and that right there was within the last like 7 years. I mean, so how did I abandon it? Like I've been very involved in my kids' lives, and I mean, they fabricate so many things. And they're trying to tell, like now, in my case, they're trying
Single
to
chick
tell,
justify? Well,
huh?
yeah, maybe it might. Angry Canadian.
What do what now?
She
Single
said
chick,
justify.
justify, single chick. Not married. A single mom, but just I don't even know how to justify that. They come up with their own vocabulary and their wording is it's hilarious. And then they gotta backdate it to a past time. That's even better.
But get this. Okay, I was, I showed Darren and you guys a little bit of the case law today that I found for me. In there, it does state under 1983 USC that Maine has its own thing that follows the actual Constitution of the United States on that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can use it.
Mm-hmm.
My brother's building. I don't know what he's doing. Sorry. But and you said they go by the federal constitution, U.S. Constitution.
They follow along with the federal Constitution.
That's all. That's what's up.
And the statue up here.
Because some states aren't like that. You
I
got the
found
state.
that today when I was searching it. I was like, that's some interesting shit.
There was something on Maine too. It was in the Child Information Gateway portal.
Yes, they're back out there again with the abundance
Yes,
program.
but there's also they're trying to and like put into place a program for I don't know if it's like a thing where you can talk to your caseworker and you're supposed to be able to communicate with them through an app and or something. I don't know if that's going to be in effect. I know down here in Georgia, I mean they won't give me an access to it, but they're supposed to, and that's the way you're supposed to be able to communicate with them because otherwise you can't ever get in touch with these people. Like they want to say that you're not contacting them. Like,
Yep.
I like what I told you the other day about my court order, Darren. When it comes out and it's out there, I'll put it. I'll let everybody know. But right now, I just want to because I know I mean, they're a joke.
Do you want me? You guys want me to read that so you can understand what it actually says?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I would like to read. Yeah, I would like to hear that. Welfare twats. That's correct. Sorry, I had to say it.
It states under Rule 2931, makes it a crime to intentionally adjure, intimidate, or interfere with someone's rights. This includes rights protected by the Constitution of Maine, the laws of Maine, the Constitution of the United States, of the laws of the United States, violated of the statutes, and a Class D crime punishable by up to 364 days in jail and a $2,000 fine. LD 227 allows an aggrieved person to bring civil action against someone who files or prosecutes hostile litigation. This includes act taken with or without color of law. The U.S. Code also has a statute on deprivation of rights under color of law, which is Title 18, Section 242. This statute defines act under color of law and actions taken beyond the bounds of official lawful authority.
242, yeah. Yep. Does it say anything about 241 in that? Or no?
Nope.
No, because those two are a real the deprivation. That's crazy what they do, and everything that it's all fallen under the 1983. Like it's all our rights, everything. Like they made their own rule book. That's what it is. I mean, they made their own ways over time, and it just stuck. And I don't see how that's possible, because this even goes beyond the caseworkers. It goes all the way up the chain. The judges, the court appointed attorneys, these SAG attorneys, which is the assistant advocate, whatever, for like in here in Georgia, it's the lawyers for DFCS. I mean, to the guardian ad litems, it's all of them that are involved in the child welfare system, all of them, because it's all a money game. It's what kid's gonna get the bigger check that day, or that money that day, because the funds they give these the Social Security Act and the Title IV funds, they're set out to but they're not what word am I looking for? Oh my God, they're not like issuing them out or funding them the right things with them. They're not doing correctly with them. They're not doing what they're supposed to with them.
Do you realize that there is a lady out there? Her name is Meg. I think she's either a paralegal or something like that.
Stand with Meg. Is that her?
But she's going after the Supreme Court.
Yep. Is she got like that movement Stand with Meg? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. She had 5 kids, and her story, it's great. Oh my God. Like I feel for her, man. She ain't playing either. She ain't playing.
Nope. She's got everything she needs. Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I can't wait till the 14th. Just put it that way. That's why right now I won't talk much about my case, but it'll all come out of the wash soon.
Welfare twats. Yeah, exactly. That's what they are. Welfare twats.
Yeah. I love it when they said that. And I don't see how these people, I mean, these caseworkers and stuff, they must not have children. They must not have a family. They must be, I know the one I had at the beginning did not have a family. Like, she didn't have no family of her own. And she was just, I mean, she wasn't even.
So they were trying to pull the same shit on you that they pulled on us, lady.
Yeah.
That is fucking.
They try to do it all the time. They won't
they
even.
They want to separate the family. That's what they want to do. That's the main goal.
Let me tell you, they took my son when my case first started. At first, the very beginning, it took me 2 months to figure out where my son was, because I was being led on a wild goose chase. When really, at the end of the day, he was with a family member, and who gave him. But that's a story for another day. But anyhow, when he did get into the state's hands, they thought my kid was an orphan, because they went by hearsay. So here they are. All they see is money signs. I'm going to tell you right now, but then when Miss Danielle pops up, because my aunt had me locked up because I had to go get my brother from Florida. Well, when I popped up at that court date, boy, shit hit the fan, and they didn't know what the hell to think. Well, and they've been trying to sweep it under the rug ever since. And I mean, I cannot let them, they can't get away with this. I'm sorry. This boy did not deserve to be sent 4 states away from his home. Like no. But I tell you what, my son is a strong boy, and he just lost his Meemaw. I mean, that's right there is traumatizing enough. And then nobody told him nothing. And you know, and then he's wanting to know where his mom's at, or well, Danielle, and he's just stripped from the house. I mean, like, hello. And I mean, and then sent to a totally different area, totally different state, no friends, no family, nobody you know. Could you imagine? And he handled it better than I did. Like, I mean, I got out of jail and got to hug my son once, and he was gone. I mean, I mean, and now just the other day, I was told that he was saying Papa, and I'm like, oh boy, you know, I when he brings up Papa, guess what? He's gonna bring up Meemaw, and Meemaw is my mom, Papa's my dad, and my dad, you know, that's so he's starting to of course he misses us, yes, but he's starting to ask questions, and they don't have the answers to these questions, and I don't want that to affect my son, because he should have never. Why would they send him 4 states away? Besides, y'all saw the news story, but why would they send him 4 states away? For one, my son's not behavioral, but there's a same kind of facility that my son is at 20 minutes from my house. Why the hell did they send him to Texas? When there's a place right here, what they're gonna they said there was no local placements. I'm here and I have family. That's what they said. But 4 states away, I can't just up and leave the state. I can't just, I mean, I did, and you see what happened. I went to jail when I went to go get my brother because there was a hurricane coming, you know? And they did that to yours, give us our kids back. Did they send your kids out of state? See, and then they don't want to help you get to your child. They even asked that in court. They're like, are we going to provide Miss Wah with services and help to get her to Texas? And they said no. I said, you got to be. So I'm already at a poverty level, and you just going to dig me a deep. I mean, that's like, I mean, I really felt like I was in criminal court, like I was being charged with something. I couldn't say nothing, you know? I couldn't say nothing.
We're about at that time though, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna have last words?
Yeah.
We're gonna do last words, I guess. Herbert, you wanna do last words? Darren, you wanna do last words?
Yep. When you have encounter CPS at your front door, make sure that you ask them for a.
I think
when you encounter CPS at your front door, CPS at your front door, make sure that they have court order, warrant, or some kind of paperwork from the courts that enables them to come in to your home. Don't just let them in just because they come up to your home and say they want to come in. They don't have the right to come into your house. Don't display any attitude. Don't display any emotions, because that's what they want you to do. Don't do that. Politely say to them, sorry, you're not coming in. They'll say,
right.
Why not? Why not? I'm sorry, you're not coming in. Don't get in arguments. Don't talk about your case. Just close the door.
So I want to get the comment section before I say my last words. I don't know what Angry Canadian is speaking about, but give us our kids back, yes. And if you go watch my news story, you will see my record as well. You'll be more. I'm not afraid to tell anybody my record. I did go to jail. I was arrested in Florida. They extradited me back to Georgia. Yes, ma'am. And I did my time. So, my past is my past, you know. But yes, I was arrested and if you go watch on my news story, they will tell you what my charges were. And Angry Canadian, I'm not sure what you're speaking of and who you're referring to, but that would be who is she talking to about? Somebody just said, was that one of us?
I don't know.
Anyhow, but yeah, if you look up Atlanta, Georgia kids sent out of state for treatment or medical or services, I mean, and it'll bring up my story, and you can learn more there. But yes, I went to prison after I got arrested in Florida. Yes, I did, and I've changed. I've recovered. I've changed, and I've not been in trouble since. So, this is something. That's the reason why my kids were with the guardians, was because of what you just asked about. Give us our kids back. I had to ask my family for help because I was going to prison. And anybody that has any questions, I'm more than welcome to answer them. I'm not afraid to talk about my history. Just people do change, you know? So last words, just keep fighting for your kids and fight for your families, and let's just pack it up, y'all. And we can do this, and we can make it happen. Your knowledge is power, and you got a lot. As parents, we got a lot more power than what we realize. We're a lot stronger than what we realize. So, Vinny?
My last words are going to be this. Don't forget, tomorrow at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time, we have the main show for all you Mainers that are watching and that want to participate. It's hosted by me, Darren, and the Angry Citizen. So please come listen in. That's where we have talks about what's going on in Maine. And then you have the 7:30 show with me. So keep that in mind as well. And then upcoming, we have Tiff and the Punisher on Sunday and Gunner's new show starting Sunday night. So stay tuned. We got all new shows all week long, and we're trying to get us out there, trying to get all of our stories heard. We really got to push this to the public, guys, because the more we push it, the more we're heard.
Yep. Thank you, Lady V.
So I hope you all have a great
What
night.
time is what time is Gunner's show?
I thought it was at 9:30, wasn't it? Or
Yep.
did it? Yeah, 9:30, Herbert.
Oh no, Vinny just said at night. Oh, 9:30. Okay.
Yeah. Angry Canadian. I've had kids and have never been arrested. Why would I? Don't commit crimes. You know what, ma'am? Our angry Canadian. Some things happen, and my crimes I had to do because I was I had to provide for my children, and I was desperate. I'm sorry, but you know, I changed and I paid back what I did, and I did my time. So I mean, and I've changed and I've been the parent that I need to be for my children. So you know, everybody makes mistakes, but some get caught and some don't. I mean, everybody messes up in life. I'm sorry, there's not a perfect person in the world. You know, we all make mistakes. It's just some get caught and others don't. And even officers will tell you that. I mean, it's all a matter of, but no judgment. So, all right,
Darren, last word.
Darren.
Earth to Darren.
Yeah, I'm right here.
I didn't have to commit any crime. I did crimes, and I pled guilty. Is that? I mean, just I don't understand where you're trying to come from, angry Canadian. I did my crimes. I did my time. If I do the crimes, I do the time. I did the time. I've recovered from it. What's your point? This is what I'm saying. Jeez, sorry, y'all.
I think she said, did you commit crimes? And the answer is yes. Danielle commit crimes. She did the time, and she's finished.
Everyone has a story. There's no reason, there's no excuse for what I did. But I've served my time. I don't need to be repunished for it. That's not, I mean, my past is my past. My thing is, there was a story during that time. No reason for me to do it though. No excuse. I don't have no excuse. I did my crimes. I did my time. It's just, I mean, everybody, trust me, you make mistakes too, angry Canadian. I promise. Everybody does. But it's our lives. I make my own choices in my life. Just like you do. Okay. So, and if I committed crimes, I knew what kind of consequences I would have to face. And, you know, I had to provide for my children, but I also had to protect my children as well when I did my crimes. And that's why my kids were with my family, because so, you know, I don't know what you're trying to get at. Everybody makes mistakes. I mean, if you speed, that's committing a crime. If you're going over the speed limit, that's committing a crime. So, I mean, I'm sure everyone does that, but anyhow, sorry guys.
Yeah, finish up what you were.
Well, I mean, it's just that this person, she keeps saying that she's a parent, never committed a crime. No one, you get what I'm saying. I'm just going to drop that. I'm not even going to entertain
I understand what you're saying. And I understand Miss Canadian or lady, whatever her name is, Canadian. She's saying that she didn't commit no crime. Okay, in your case, you didn't commit a crime, but you did something to have your kids taken away. Why was your kids taken away?
No, mine. My kids were never taken.
I'm talking about angry Canadian. Angry Canadian.
She never had her
children. She never had her kids taken away. I have no idea how a parent commits a crime when they have children to take care of. That's weird. Okay. Let me wait. Angry Canadian. I got a question for you. Do you have any issues with CPS? My question to you is, are you having issues with CPS? I'm waiting for her answer. The CPS,
you know what? This person we can just drop this person because you know what? It could be someone, which I don't care if it is not.
No, but give her a chance to answer. My kids were never taken. That's just weird, man. Okay, so you're fortunate that your kids were never taken.
My kids were never taken.
So your kids were never taken. Okay, so therefore, you lived a life where everything worked out fine. There's some people that have issues and have things that may go on where CPS gets involved with their life and they don't get out. You're angry Canadian. You just happen to be fortunate that you don't have any issues with Child Protective Services.
You know, I don't have to explain nothing. I know my story, and that's it. And I know I've fixed it. Herbert.
I'll be happy to explain to him.
Well,
I mean,
I think Danielle's right. I don't think there's anything really to say. You know, she's lucky she doesn't have CPS in her life. She's lucky that she committed a crime. She's lucky that she's living her life the way that she's living it. You know, and that's it.
And I mean, you know, my kids were
maybe
safe.
This is not the show for her. This is not the show for her.
But I'll tell you this, I have and that's what I'm exactly, Brenda. It is a troll, and I believe it could be a family member, and that's fine. I wish they are not perfect, trust me. And if it's, and it is a troll, y'all. So I'm not even going to entertain that. It's not.
All right. We're out.
Thanks, guys. Thank y'all.
Have a good weekend, guys.
I'm a man, by the way.
And I don't care if you're a man or not. I really don't. Bye.
Getting crazy, baby, chill. Don't medicate, just meditate. You waking up now, well, baby, you hella late. Educate, look at what's going on, let it resonate, accelerate. Find your inner hunger like you never ate. Agenda is to push the hate, separate and segregate. Don't celebrate quite yet, the storm is coming, Q, for heaven's sake. Violence that they demonstrate, instigate and penetrate. The values of our country and our God is what they desecrate. My fighters ain't no featherweight, pulling out the seams of the fabric that they fabricate. They feed us lies, manipulate, intimidate through fear and force, forcing us to sit and wait till we come together, congregate, and then we liberate. Praying that you give me strength to find some love amongst the hate. Marching on these streets of blood till I see the golden gates. Troubadour and troubled souls, one of God's servants. Blades out, cut the grass till we see the serpents.
One day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home.
swallow, just digest it. Suspected something's going on, but chose to just neglect it. Deflected by some breaking news, oh, we just accepted. Expected just to fall in line and follow their perspective. Don't question their objective, but I got a lot of questions. How these kids molested, but nobody's been arrested. Read it in the testament, these children are protected. So I'm fighting all these terrorists, both foreign and domestic. Refuse to be directed, lying not a sheep. Only kneel to my God, so I'm dying on my feet. Silence when we speak, but there's violence in the street. I've been rolling with the punches, I can't take it on the cheap. Drink from a glass half full, I'm optimistic. People are sadistic, so vicious and malicious. Praying for assistance to overcome opposition, or I'm gonna start resisting and then I'll pray for forgiveness.
One day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you.